What's up everyone? Welcome back to the AC Tech channel, and today we're going to be installing Visual Studio Code so we can run our Python files. You might be asking, what exactly is Visual Studio Code? Well, Visual Studio Code is a IDE, also known as an integrated development environment. There's also something called a code editor where it simply just helps us code our Python files. Notepad and Notepad++ are two examples of those. So why do we want to go with an IDE? The reason we want to go with an IDE is because it has a lot of tools that helps us coding. Some of these tools are an editor, debugger, and then it also has other development tools. So now that we have a basic understanding of what an IDE is, now let's go to our web browser, click on it. In the search bar, we want to search for Visual Studio Code. We want to click on the one that says code.visualstudio.com. From here, we have many different choices. If you're using macOS, that's the one you want to choose. If you have Linux, that's the one you want to choose. And for us, we're using Windows, so we're just simply going to go with the default. The download will start, and it should complete here in a quick second, or depending how quick your internet speed is. Once it finishes, go ahead and click on it. You can close the one in the back, and this will pop up. From here, we want to go with I accept the agreement, click next. Depending on where you want to leave the destination, you can change it or leave it as is. I usually like to keep it in the very front. So we're going to go with next after this. You can create a program shortcut if you want to. Click next. You can create a desktop icon, which I am, and there's some more choices here that if you want to, you can go ahead and check or uncheck mark them. Then click next. Once that is done, click install. Once it finishes, you'll get this little screen here that says completing the Visual Studio Code Setup Wizard. You can just click finish and it should launch. And we have different choices on how you want it to look, the theme of it. You can pick whichever one you want. I usually like dark modern, but with this we can verify that it has been done. So now we want to mark done. And now we get to the bread and butter of this IDE. We can do new file, open folder. Pretty much it has been installed at this point. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to install Python into this. We want to install the extension. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the extensions tab. We're going to go up here and type in Python. It might be at the top already as it's a really popular one. We're going to click on it and then we're going to click install. So once the download finishes, you'll get this pop up here. We can go ahead and create a Python file, select a interpreter, run and debug our Python file, and explore more resources. But for right now, we can just go here, open folder. I'm going to click on the documents. We're going to create a new one where we're going to put all our Python projects. I'm going to select a new one. We're going to do start, as this is the start of our folders. Select folder. Yes, I trust the authors. And in here, we're going to create our very first Python file. We're going to click on new file. We're going to type in our usual hello.py. And as you can see, it has this little symbol on the far left that symbolizes it is running in a Python file format. Now we want to go here and test it out. We're going to type in print hello world. And now the good thing about this is we're going to click on run. And as we can see at the very bottom, it has output the text. So this verifies that we both are able to run Python files in Visual Studio Code. So now that we have it installed, let's take a little look at the layout and see what we have. So in the left corner, we can see we have the Explorer. What the Explorer does is It displays our project's files and folders. It helps us navigate as well as manage, organize files, folders, anything that you can think of to make it look more neat and help us as programmers. Now, on the right side, we can see the code editor. What the code editor does is it highlights syntax errors or any errors in general, especially with your code. It does auto completion and it also has other features. So from here, this is where we're going to be writing our code, debugging pretty much everything that comes with Python coding. At the bottom, we can see the status bar. And the status bar pretty much contains our output. We're going to be using this so whenever we run our code, we can see what problems we're having, if it's running correctly, without having to open something such as command prompt. In the very far left, we have the Explorer, we have the search, we have source control, we have run and debug, we have extensions, and we have testing. Including to those, we have account and manage. So now we have everything installed. Now we can start coding and have an easier time as coders. So hopefully on the next video, I will see you there and we'll start jumping into Python coding. See ya.